Welcome back to the Wayback Chronicles podcast, brought to you by Keith Abbott, Steve McKelkey, and me, Noel Kirsch. In this episode, Steve is going to take us down the road of 1986 sports. So excited to hear what you got there, Steve. What you got?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you recall, Noel, back in the last summer, you covered 1998 sports, and as you took us through that whole path, we're like, wow, is there a year better than 1998 in sports? And, I'm going to tell you, I think 1986 at least rivals that. And in my opinion, might possibly be better than 1998. So I'll see if I can do as near a good job as casting that opinion as Keith did with telling us about 1986 music. And by the way, nice job on that Spotify.
Thanks. That's fun.
Spotify. That's been fun to listen to, and it's been my background music while working. So
cool.
Enjoyed it.
Over almost 6 hours of tunes. I found out when I was finishing up. I'm like, holy moly, that's a lot of tunes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That was one heck of a year in music, man.
It really was. It really was. So as I was researching through 1986, trying to find all the sports moments, I used to start with Wikipedia and start working through a variety of different channels, and found an article in Sports Illustrated that I said, you know what, this is the path I'm going to follow, because they nailed it, and I think they're going to help me build the case. So
awesome.
Really, they titled it "An Unforgettable Year in Sports." Of course, long time ago we've forgotten about all this stuff, but I'm going to bring it back, way back. So
there you go.
So as we talk about football, if you remember the Super Bowl Shuffle, which team that was?
The Bears.
The Chicago Bears. And so this was a year that the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl, and they destroyed New England 46-10. And if I remember right, even William Refrigerator Perry had a touchdown in that game.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And so they just had a lot of fun. Destroyed New England, and it really just they made the Super Bowl fun with the Super Bowl Shuffle. I think we all remember. It's a horrible video quality. As we go back and look at it, it's hilarious at the same time. And at the moment, we thought, those are the coolest athletes in the world, because they're all wearing sunglasses and doing Super Bowl shuffles.
Jim McMahon wasn't he the quarterback?
Yep, absolutely. Jim McMahon, and Walter Payton was the running back.
Walter Payton,
and the fringe.
Towards the end of his career, Walter Payton, and then of course, sadly passed, a few years after retirement. But William Perry, that was a big boy. I think number 72 was his number. But in the world of basketball, and we'll talk about who won the title later, because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. But a 5'7" guard from Dallas, Texas, played for the Atlanta Hawks, won the slam dunk contest this year. Say it again.
Oh no, this back in 1986.
1986, yep.
Steve Aguirre.
No, you're thinking of Mark Aguirre. But
I'm sorry, Mark Aguirre.
So he played for the Atlanta Hawks. His hometown is Dallas. What's that?
Jason Kidd?
No, it was actually Spud Webb.
Oh, yeah.
And 5'7", came back to his hometown. The All-Star game was in Dallas in '86, and won the early versions of the slam dunk contest. And it was so great to watch him. It seemed like he was in the air forever. And I haven't dunked once, and I'm 5 inches taller than him, and he made it look easy. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, totally. Tons of upsets this year in the NCAA basketball tournament. Really big as upsets was David Robinson taking Navy to the Sweet 16, and really that's when David Robinson fell on the map, and later became drafted by the Spurs and had a great Hall of Fame career with the Spurs. Wayne Gretzky set the points record for the NHL in 1986 with a record of 215 points that year.
In a year?
He finished with established an NHL record with 215 points in the 85-86 season. He finished with 52 goals, 163 assists during his third consecutive year with at least 200 points. So
Crazy.
yeah,
They only score like 3 or 4 goals a game. How can you have 215 of them in a year?
yeah, no,
It's
yeah,
like-
no.
That's
I don't know
crazy.
anything about
That's
hockey.
wild.
It's on ice, and there's Zamboni.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you,
that's
have you been to a hockey
Zamboni.
game? Have you been to one before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like whole time. I'm like, where'd the puck go? Where is it? There it is.
Oh,
I tell you, when it hits a glass, it's amazing how loud and shocking that sound is.
No doubt.
I saw a. This is back when Houston had like I don't know, farm league hockey team or whatever they call it in the NHL. Minor league, not a major
Houston
league.
Arrows, right?
Yeah, watch the Arrows play, and but that was like 1,000 years ago, literally 25 years ago. But that's the only hockey game I've ever been to.
Dozens of people in attendance, right?
At least, yeah.
In the world of golf, Jack Nicklaus won the Masters, and it was his final major win, and really, I think actually his final win period on the PGA Tour.
Wow.
And he got that last minute pep talk from Keith Abbott. To win that. Just stay positive.
Got it. Consistent messaging.
Yeah,
Good things will keep
just
happening.
a decade later, and 12 years later, then inspire Tiger Woods.
There's a practice round.
Yeah,
The next generation.
That's right.
yeah. Keith, you transcend sports.
It's crazy.
So
I don't even know my own strength.
Yeah.
It's a crazy.
In 1986, this was really the year that Michael Jordan fell on the world map, and Larry Bird described him as God disguised as Michael Jordan, and had 63 points in the playoff record. They faced the Boston Celtics. Did not make it to the World Championship that year. They lost to the Celtics, but it was all they could do to win in spite of Michael Jordan. So, this is when he started to dominate. Roger Clemens fanned 20 in a game in 1986,
Wow.
and that's still a major league record, I believe.
He played for Boston back then in '86.
Yep. It was Red Sox, and he struck out 20 in a 3-1 victory against the Mariners.
Wow,
that's wild.
The Celtics play the Lakers. Was that '86?
Not the Lakers, the Rockets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah.
He's saving that.
Yeah.
I know he wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's coming up. I guarantee you it's coming up.
I wish our listeners could see the background behind Steve. It would sort of it's so ridiculous. It's like you're in Madison Square Garden.
Steve,
right?
do that again. Do that again. Thank you. I gotta get pictures of that. Okay.
He's even wearing a green shirt.
Okay, wait. I got that. There we go. Okay. I'll post that this next week.
Yeah. I will have to say though that the Texas Tech stuff does outnumber the Celtic stuff in my office. So
but not in camera view.
In camera view. Yeah. Inspiration one.
I see
Inspiration
one
two,
Texas Tech, and I see everything else is Celtics.
Rarely do we talk about horse racing as something. I still laugh at Noel's impression of a horse whisperer. Still cracks me to this day. But Willie Shoemaker decided, hey, look, if Jack Nicklaus can win the Masters, I'll win the Kentucky Derby at the age of 54, and he did. And
wow.
And it was the oldest jockey to ever win a major horse race. So, no, you're talking about the Rockets stunned the Lakers, and coincidentally, of the 3 titles that the Celtics won in the 80s, only one of them was against the Lakers. 2 of them were against Houston. And,
wow.
So you never guess that. You think about, everybody thinks about the Lakers-Celtics rivalry, but when it came to the each time the Rockets eliminated the Lakers to play the Celtics. So they were the spoilers many times
Interesting.
to the delight of Celtics fans worldwide.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So Patrick Waugh, I think that's how you say his name. Going back to hockey, he became. Oh, who cares what he did? But, anyway, because the next topic is really all I care about.
It's like a Bob Uecker moment
Yeah,
from Major League right there. Who cares? Nobody's listening anyway.
Oh man.
So in 1986, if you haven't figured out already, the Boston Celtics won the World Championship, beating the Houston Rockets in a taking 4-2 series win over the Rockets. But Larry Bird was the
MVP.
MVP of the. He was also Player of the Year in the NBA, and it was also Sportsman of the Year.
Wow.
In the NBA. So
gracious.
So yeah. But tragically, and this one, I'm about to tell you, really sort of killed the Celtics for decades after Larry Bird's retirement. Was in '86, the Celtics drafted Len Bias, and he was a Maryland, played for University of Maryland, was perceived to be the guy that was going to take the throne from Larry and continue the tradition. The night that he was drafted, he went to a party, had a cocaine overdose, died of cardiac arrest.
No kidding.
And,
oh my gosh!
And hence follow was two dark decades for the Celtics until they returned to the NBA championship, won the 2008 World Championship. So,
jeez,
it's a big gap. Big gap
really
for that dynasty.
Absolutely. So in '86, Bo Jackson was the top pick in the NFL draft.
Okay.
And any guesses who drafted him?
Raiders.
So in NFL draft.
Oh.
The Raiders, right? Didn't he? He played for them.
So he played for them. He was actually drafted by Tampa Bay.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know.
And then also was a 4th round pick that year in the baseball draft by Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas City. Okay.
And so the Heisman Trophy winning running back from Auburn had an up and down career with the Tigers baseball team. Rejected the Bucks, reported 5-year, $7 million deal, and signed with the Royals in June. He made his big league debut that September, and then, of course, decided to become a two-sport star the following season, and made a lot of memories. I still remember him running up the center field wall to catch that. Just like his body did things that no one else's can, and
wild.
He was something else.
Once in a generation type player, or type athlete, I should say, not player.
Yeah.
He still lives in. I think I saw like a Netflix something about him, and he's like, am I getting him mixed up? Anyway, he's still around. He ain't dead.
It's safe to say maybe we were not thoroughly researched like we should be.
My research department took the night off.
Noel's color commentary. He's doing fine.
Yeah. There's no pressure on Noel. If you're gonna be unprepared, don't bring facts.
This is the day.
I'm sorry. It's been a day.
So I know this name. Y'all know I'm not a fan of soccer, and I've often described it as the perfect cure for insomnia. But
we've heard that a few.
But this year in the '86 World Cup ushered in a new king of soccer, and that was the 5'5" Diego Maradona.
Oh, Maradona.
And of course, everybody knows the name, and I guess the equivalent to Maradona these days is
Messi.
Messi, yeah. How do you say his first name?
Lionel.
Lionel. Yeah, Lionel. Yeah. So
Lionel.
Anyway, so yeah, I guess Diego was the inspiration for Messi and Lionel.
Lionel.
Greg LeMond started just his Tour de France streak. He won his first of 3 consecutive Tour de France races in 1986. The USFL, remember that? The jury ruled in 1996. The USFL in its antitrust suit against NFL that awarded the 3-year-old league $1 in damages. $1. Tripled to $3 under antitrust laws after been seeking potentially $1.7 billion.
Well,
now it's probably safe to say if the USFL won $1.7 billion, we wouldn't be watching the NFL Super Bowl. We'd probably be watching the USFL
Super Bowl.
So, anyway, so the cash poor USFL quickly suspended operations in '86 and never returned. USFL stars such as Herschel Walker and Jim Kelly moved to the NFL for the '86 season. So pretty cool there.
That is cool.
In the world of tennis, the big women's rivalry. Any guess?
Martina Navratilova.
Steffi Graf.
There you go. Nice. Yep, that was the big rivalry in women's tennis. And excuse me while I take a nap. So in college football, it's funny. We were talking about when we were talking about shoulder pads. Brian Bosworth came up, and this was this year the showdown between number 1 Oklahoma and number 2 Miami. Pitted the Hurricanes QB Vinny Testaverde.
Oh wow!
Again, Sooners linebacker Brian Bosworth, and I still remember Brian Bosworth and all the scandal they had during the season. But they all played in the game, and Miami went on to an undefeated season. Beating Oklahoma in that game and taking the national championship.
Now, was that who was the coach of Miami that year?
That was the thing.
Jimmy Johnson, right?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Great call out.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the worst thing the Cowboys ever did was get rid of Jimmy Johnson, I think.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
Not that I'm a fan.
Still blame Jerry Jones for everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
He got something great, and then he got greedy thinking he could be a control freak. And to this day, it's cursed him, in my opinion only.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never forget whenever they brought Troy Aikman in, and they traded away almost everything to get him and Emmitt Smith. And I was like, what are these idiots doing? They just traded away all that.
Yeah.
Everybody that was worth anything, like Tony Dorsett was going away, and all the stars of those days.
There's a lot of purists that hated the way they got rid of Landry too. That way,
Yeah.
So anticlimactically. So
yeah,
awful. Yeah. But they did some great things in the early to mid 90s. Have you guys seen? Speaking of Cowboys Super Bowls, this is a nostalgic program. So, and that's the only time you'd ever talk about Cowboys Super Bowls when you're talking about history, because it was like 30 years ago.
We were in college.
I know. Yeah, I saw a meme. I said my little brother Damon is a Cowboys fan, and I saw a picture floating around Facebook, and it was Cowboy Super Bowl pictures, and it was on like a little floppy disk.
I saw that too.
Sent that to him. I'm like, hey, David, do you have a copy? Or
that's so
not very funny.
So bad, but so true. Wow,
yeah.
Man.
Anyway, sorry, I had to get a dig in on the Cowboys.
You have to.
Couple classic baseball playoff series happened in 1986. First one was the Red Sox against the Angels. Dave Henderson hit a go-ahead 2-run homer off of Donnie Moore. The Angels tied the score in the bottom of the ninth, but the Red Sox won in extra innings and completed their comeback by winning games 6 and 7 handily in Fenway Park. On the NLCS side, and Noel, and Keith, our Astros were formerly in the National League.
Right.
And I remember specifically running home as soon as the school bell rang so I could watch the end of this game. But the Mets versus the Astros in a series packed with drama, the Astros took the opener 1-0 as Mike Scott outdueled Dwight Gooden with the 14th strikeout gem. The Mets won game 3 on a walk-off home run by Lenny Dykstra, and then game 5 on a 12th inning single by Gary Carter. Game 6 topped them all for drama. Mets ended up going on to be in the Astros in that series and in extra innings, and I never thought that game was going to end. I still remember the sports stress I had watching that game as a kid, and then it only made sense that I would become a Texas Tech fan, and the stress that
right.
that conflicts. But
Glutton for punishment.
yeah, totally. And then, but to wrap up, what happened with the World Series, the Mets end up winning the World Series that year, beating the Red Sox. So
That's awesome. Wow.
yeah. 1986 also, so you think about just all the memories and all just the variety. This isn't so much about who won all the trophies, but this is the year that SMU had incurred the death penalty.
Oh.
And if you remember that story, so it was in the November of 86, a Dallas TV station reports about boosters' $25,000 payment to linebacker David Stanley, which hastened the demise of SMU's powerhouse football program. It's crazy how good they were in the 80s. And Coach Bobby Collins and athletic director Bob Hayes resigned less than a month later. Then the Mustangs received the death penalty the following February. So, of course, now apparently Matt, giving money to players is no longer
no big deal.
Yeah. And so it's ridiculous that SMU got that death penalty, and it took them a long time to come back. They're starting to experience some success. You got to be happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we don't ever lose to them. But
exactly.
Yeah.
Proud and happy for them with a caveat.
Yeah, absolutely. In 86, also, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion. We knocked out Trevor Berbick in the second round.
Wow.
And look at me. Tyson told reporters after his 26th knockout in 28 fights, 26 knockouts, 27 bouts. I mean, that's
insane.
Crazy.
Man. Wow.
He says, I'm just a boy and I got the belt on my waist. And he kicked a lot of rear ends after that.
Yeah, he did.
Gosh, he was unstoppable. I mean,
yeah.
Never forget some of those fights, like Larry Spinks, and I mean, it was like, what was it, 30 seconds? Not even 30 seconds long or something. They just got punched, bam, bam, they're out. And
yeah,
unbelievable.
So Joe Paterno won Sportsman of the Year. I said incorrectly. Larry Bird was Sportsman of the Year. Larry Bird was Male Athlete of the Year.
Okay.
Martina Navratilova was Female Athlete of the Year.
Okay.
Joe Paterno was Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. And then ABC Wide World Sports Athlete of the Year was figure skater Debbie Thomas. I don't remember her, but
yeah,
I think she won a trophy or something, or a medal that year.
I think her dad, Dave Thomas, opened all those Wendy's restaurants.
Yeah, probably. One day. I thought Dave's daughter's name was Wendy, though.
Well, yeah, Wendy's she doesn't ice skate or anything.
She likes burgers.
Gotcha. So Dave had two daughters?
Yeah, Wendy and what's the chick's name? Debbie.
Yeah.
Memory's not so good.
I've always been jealous when I go to Noel's house during the Christmas holidays and see that Christmas car from the Thomas family.
That's right. Yeah, we're real close.
Yeah,
very close.
Pretty neat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I can go through and tell you who won all the trophies for each sport, and Wikipedia has all that information available. But I just really think, when you think about the big names, Jack Nicklaus, Roger Clemens, Mike Tyson, Bo Jackson, all these big time stars really started to make their career happen in 1986. And we could probably say that almost about every year that, hey, every year had at least one big name start their career. But I think the multiple names, the multiple success that we saw amongst multiple athletes, I think makes this a rival year to at least 1998. I'm not going to go as far as say it's the best year in sports ever, because someone will tell me I'm wrong, but it certainly represents very well. So guys, that is the world of 1986 sports.
I think, sports are speculative, kind of like the music, and I'm arguing that's the best. It's who you knew, who you had a passion for. Steve, you're super passionate for Larry Bird, the Celtics, and this was probably his peak, right? I would say this was probably the pinnacle before Jordan started taking the limelight, I would imagine. So you've got that. And like you say, Bo Jackson, that's just a unique individual once in a lifetime, and so I think arguably, like, if those individuals are the ones you follow or you grew up with, man, how could you argue that this wasn't a significant year?
Oh yeah. So totally. Anyway, I love how we as we go through this, just the memories that we stir up, and some of my childhood memories are related to sports events, watching it with my brother, watching it with my dad, and being glued to the TV and trying to stay awake till the end of the Super Bowl or whatever, just so we could see who won. And so many great memories around it, and always feel fortunate that I had good friends we could play on the yard with. We were constantly playing football, basketball, baseball, whatever we could, and no doubt that's why I'm passionate about sports. Can't physically do it as well as I used to, but I'd like to think I can. So
yep.
You still talk trash about it though. That's
all that matters.
Oh yeah.
All that matters.
Yeah. If you ever have an evening free, I'll tell you everything you need to know about Larry Bird.
I believe it. I believe it.
What you need is like a Trivial Pursuit Larry Bird edition. Where everything about Larry Bird.
It's just a green box with 3-3 on it.
That would be the only time everybody be like, I'm on Steve's team.
Yeah.
That's probably the only time I could beat your wife, Noel.
That's true.
Gosh. She'd find a way to win, man.
I was going to say she'd figure it out based on color choice or something. She'd figure out a way to win that. It's amazing. She is a competitor.
She is.
It's amazing. Good stuff, Steve. I really appreciate all of the research you did on 1986 sports. I think you're right. It's a pretty significant year, and I appreciate all the research that you did. And it's fun to go back and see some of those memories. Like I remember Larry Bird. I remember all of those things. So I'm really, really glad that you were able to share that with us and kind of bring back those memories in sports for us for 1986.
You bet, man.
So I think Noel, you and me next time we'll do a little bit of kind of a wrap up of 1986. Talk a little bit about some of the little fun facts of the year, some of the technology that came through for the year, and then I think way back, Steve will fire up and see where we go from here.
Awesome. Sounds good. Looking forward to it, guys.
Us too. Appreciate everything. Thanks a lot, guys.
Y'all.
See you in the next episode. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Wayback Chronicles. All shows are written and produced by Noel, Keith, and Steve. Massive thanks to those who made these memories possible for us through the years. All songs, sounds, and effects have been attributed in the comments section and through links listed on waybackchronicles.podbean.com. We look forward to taking you way back again in the very near future.